conclusion now. The wind's really picked up, just been riding along the flat. It's doing 350 watts at 18k an hour. I think white shoe covers were about today. It's a little bit crap. I suppose this could be considered somewhat controversial, being that I'm spending so much time on the bike, but I'm actually going to go out for a run. Nice 20 minutes easy just to turn the legs over. Last week, quite a lot of distance on the old legs. So just a little run to loosen the legs up. And then, same sort of thing on the bike later. I'm going to put the more miles in a bit later on, but in the week. But for now, just an easy run, easy ride. So one of the things that I've noticed this week, I'm going the wrong way. One of the things that I've noticed this week is that when you're out on the bike, riding around for 16, 17 hours like I have been, you're shooting all this footage each day going, oh, this would be, you know, this would be great for the video. And actually what you end up with, when you start to chop it all together, you end up with essentially a load of video of somebody riding a bike. And it's quite hard to make it that interesting. So I've chopped up as much as I can. I think the interesting bits, some descents down Burrington and Cheddar Gorge, and a little bit to do with my kind of hill rep session and stuff like that. But actually, just watching somebody ride a bike isn't actually that interesting. It's of course where Martin McFly nearly went back to the future. I should imagine it's fairly obvious. I'm on a commute today. I don't usually take a whole change of clothes out when I go bike riding, but I'm going up Belmont Hill now on the way in, which is where they've held the National Hill Climb Champs. And you've watched that documentary on GCN Plus about Feather, Andrew Feather. Will recognise this climb. I will not be going anywhere near his time, or my PR for that matter. That's quite enough of that. Recovery time. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. Jobs are good in. Okay, so the numbers for this week were just shy of 350k, just over 16 hours and 3,180 meters of climbing. So not quite as far as last week, about the same amount of time spent on the bike, but another 1,000 or so meters climbing, which was the plan. Still not massive amount of climbing, 3,000 meters, but certainly more than I'd done the previous week. And the plan really is that next week I've got a bigger week planned, quite a few of the recons, lots of 100k days, and the idea is that I didn't want to do that block of work on fresh legs. I wanted to go into that with tired legs, which is why I put in such a big dig over these last 2 weeks of doing sort of around about 350k a week, so that my legs feel a little bit dead. And actually, if I'm honest with you, it's really where I was at in terms of quantity in the summer when I did the Grand Tour thing last year, riding about 55k a day. And if I'm honest with you, my legs feel fine now. They really don't feel in any way, shape or form rinsed, but we will see how bad they get when I start adding in the bigger kilometers next week, because that will be the proof. Wicked. So the last couple of weeks have been ace, 350-ish kilometers over the last 2 weeks, and I'm feeling super motivated and I'm really enjoying being out on the bike at the moment. Talking about being out on the bike, next week is all about bigger rides. As I said previously, on Wednesday I've got a time trial at Castle Combe. Got to get the old TT bike completely serviced before I do that, because I haven't ridden it for a long time. We'll see how we get on with that. It will just be a bit of fun. It's just going to be nice to pin a number on, I think. So I stopped weighing myself about a month ago, 5 weeks ago possibly, when I was having a real wobble with the food side of things, and I haven't been on the scale since. I was expecting that I'd kind of shot back up to like 110 kilos or something like that. I jumped on the scales a couple of days ago just to see where I was at, so that I could do my hill rep session to proper watts per kilo, only to discover that I'd managed to get myself down to 102 kilos. The only way I can obviously imagine that that's possible is that obviously the increased workload. It turns out that spending 16-17 hours on the bike is a good way of losing some weight. Who knew? Alongside that, me and Bex have been using this really cool app called Fastic or Fastic. I'll put a link in the description below. It's really just Pavlov's dog stuff. It's dopamine hit, where you hit the button when you start fasting and hit it when you finish. And I've been sticking pretty rigidly to 16.8, which has also definitely been a big part of it. But it's nice to feel like I've got myself down to 102 kilos, and it still feels like in the next 11-12 weeks before I start the Grand Tour that I could still get myself down to 90 kilos. I know that 90 kilos was where Mark Beaumont weighed when he did his around the world in 78 days. The thing of that is, he was riding 400 kilometers a day at an average of 25 kilometers an hour. I won't be going anywhere near that, but 90 kilos seemed like a fairly arbitrary, good kind of weight to get myself down to by the time I start. What else? Oh yes, okay, the charity stuff. That's moving along really nicely. I am at 45% of my target. I'll get the numbers here. It is £2,268 at the moment donated. If you haven't donated and you've been meaning to, or you've been meaning to sign up for a ride, or you own a business and you want to sponsor a stage, please have a look at the Just Giving link that's in the description below. I would really appreciate any small donations that you can possibly put our way for an amazing charity that really helped me and Bex out last year with all of her cancer treatment and her chemo and radiotherapy. Please donate if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. So this week actually marks a tipping point in this whole process before I start my Grand Tour in 11 weeks. This is 12 weeks since I really started honing in on it. This is the halfway mark. And if I can continue the way I've been continuing in the last couple of weeks, I'm going to be on track and fine for what I'm doing. Still going to be hard work, but I will have done all the things I can do. All I do know is that I've got no more leeway. This is the absolute point of no return from this perspective. But I am feeling super motivated. I'm also feeling slightly propelled by the fact that the more people that hear about this, the more they're telling me that it's quite a mad thing to be taking on. I don't know, we'll just have to see if it does turn out to be as insane as some people think it is. I'm not convinced myself. Like I say, loads of people do a lot bigger rides than this over a longer period of time. It doesn't make me superhuman. It makes me just super James, really, in terms of the fact that I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway, whatever happens. But I am feeling super motivated in that respect. So to mark next week, which is my 150th week of videos in a row, and the fact that I'm doing a big week, and I learned that if you do 20-minute videos of people biking, it's pretty dull. I am going to try, and I emphasize the word try, and see if I can daily vlog each of my rides next week and what goes on with that. We'll see how it goes. I've got to get used to it anyway. It's going to be a good opportunity to get used to the workflow for when I do the Grand Tour, because I'm going to be daily vlogging that. But it will give me an opportunity to try that out. And I've never done it before. I've never had the desire to do it before. It's a hell of a lot of work to try and do. So I will be following a similar kind of approach that Triathlon Dan, if you don't know who he is, I'll put a link up here, to his channel. The way he does his daily vlogs is that they export, he edits them in the evening, exports them overnight and uploads them in the morning for the following day. So Monday's ride will be out on Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. I can't promise anything, I might fail miserably. I've got some new equipment that I need to check. I think I've got my my video gear list sorted now. I've just taken delivery of a new microphone system that I'm going to be trialing to see if that's it. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. Should have a few friends out for rides with me that I can experiment with interviewing them on the bike and see how that goes. That is the plan for this week. So by the end of next week, I should be near a kind of 600-700 kilometers of biking in the bank, and then I can have a rest week. Have a good week. See you in a week 150, almost every day.